T9 has really been struggling against the top half teams, but if they drop this one to CLG, that's both a massive boon for CLG and a big concern for C9.
Every match from now on is really important because we need to make sure we secure our playoff spot.
As a team, we're really coming together. I think Cloud9 is like a really big test for us.
CLG had a rough start, and now they're picking it up.
They're able to pick up the kills. That's a triple kill for Stickseg. CLG has done it.
We had a good start, and we're slumping a bit.
TSM actually still here. Sneaky gets it with a cocoon. Not going to get caught out. The heels there. The door again. Doublelift gets it.
It'll be a pretty good benchmark, see how we do against each other.
I think if we win this match, it solidifies our spot as like a top 4 team.
Even if you go into playoffs at 6th seed, you can still win the whole thing.
Every match is important, but we need to win now.
Let's go, let's go. And you know we on the rise. Let's go, let's go. You can see it in the eyes. Let's go, 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 let's go.
Happy Sunday, League fans, and welcome to Week 7 of the North American LCS. Our teams are gearing up for a full day of matches, and fans have packed the stands to cheer them on in their battles to climb the standings as we approach the postseason. As you can see, we have no shortage of people in the stadiums to cheer on their favorite teams as CLG entered the building a short time ago. Our defending champs arriving as a group in tight formation. They'll face off against Smoothie and the rest of Cloud9 in our match of the week today in the Battle Arena. Gonna be a sweet one between these two teams that are still jostling for position. Viewers of NA LCS 2, though, will see Immortals seen here in a huddle on stage, pumping up for their match against a struggling Echo Fox. Their mid laner Froggen all smiles, though, as he arrives at the studio just a short while ago. Next to Big, one of the shot callers for that team. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm James Dash Patterson, and helping me break down today's action, as always, is Mark Zimmerman and Alberto Crumzangifo. Gentlemen, how are we doing on this fine Sunday afternoon?
Pretty good. I got really early night's sleep, 10 hours. A little excessive, but
10 hours
feel
is
good.
a little excessive.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's almost at that point where you're still tired.
Yeah, you wake up
slept-
because you
you've
too
slept
much.
Too much. How about you?
I've
10
never
hours?
slept more than 7 hours in my life, so I actually don't know.
My goodness.
I don't really
Well,
know.
then I am amazed.
I've been living.
I'm gonna get you
I've
some.
been
I'm gonna get you
living.
some sleep aids. You're gonna take a nice long nap and tell me how you feel
slip
next
them in
morning.
Ambien later and see what happens. We might get a whole new crumbs tomorrow. Well, let's start the day off right with a heaping help of LCS standings. Atop the mountain is TSM, followed closely by Immortals in second place. Cloud9 and Liquid share a slice of third, while CLG and Envy are tied at fifth. Apex sits one win outside of playoff positioning and is followed by Energy, Phoenix One, and Echo Fox. Now for a look at the LCS action unfolding on both streams here today. NA LCS 2 starts up with Immortals versus Echo Fox, followed by a bout between Envy and Apex. Over in the Battle Arena, Liquid battles first place TSM after our match of the week, where Cloud9 squares off against Counter Logic Gaming. Gentlemen, we've got tons of big matchups today, but specifically regarding this matchup, the CLG C9 news affecting that series. Bunny Fufu going to be moving to full-time streamer with Cloud9. That means that Smoothie is going to be recognized as essentially the full-time starter for this squad. They have made a decision, essentially. Smoothie is the guy.
It should be better for Cloud9. After all, consistency leads to improvement. So having one guy that you know exactly what to expect every single game, the entirety of the squad doesn't have to get used to playing with two guys. It can just play with Smoothie, and it should lead to a more stable Cloud9, which is what we've seen them struggle with in the past couple of weeks. So I think this overall, whether you like Smoothie or Bunny better, it'll be a better change.
Right, I think it's more of a Cloud9 fan. You're happy to see this. I said a couple weeks ago, I was looking forward to when they finally picked one, because I think that is a good sign. When you have multiple players you're swapping between, often you want them to be very different in terms of what they bring to the team. But I think Bunny and Smoothie were pretty close in terms of champ pool, a Bard. I mean, Bunny had the Thresh, I guess, which was the big difference, but it was still like Braum, mostly the same stuff. So when you have two players very similar in what they're bringing to the team, it's a better sign when they finally pick one to go with.
Absolutely. Important to note, though, still that Bunny Fufu is on the roster.
Right.
Just that the team has made the announcement himself. He has made the announcement that he will be moving to full-time streamer, but that doesn't preclude him from necessarily jumping back in if something were to happen and they needed him on the stage. Now, in addition, rather, to the Cloud9 support news, we also need to highlight that the Challenger roster lock has taken effect. What this means is that with Piglet on Team Liquid Academy, Fabi has become the sole starter for Liquid. So in contrast to the Cloud9 scenario, if Liquid were to go to Worlds, Piglet cannot go with them. He is locked onto that challenger roster.
I think it's something that might be a little surprising to fans to hear that, like, if Team Liquid finally makes Worlds, the first one they're going with, it's not.
You're not going with your Season 3 world champion.
Yeah, you're not going off the back of this guy that you brought in, but I think it does kind of speak to the state of League of Legends in the sense where it's a very team-centric game, and not that Piglet was like a bad teammate or anything, but just he plays a very certain style, and when you're playing the more Ashe, Jhin, Sivers, which is what we've seen Fabi on, those were not his forte, and it's just not the right meta exactly for him, and so you kind of see him in Challenger team playing a lot more Ezreal.
And Crumbs, I mean, this isn't to say that they couldn't find success with Piglet. Just that most recently their record with Fabi has been great, and they're going to stick with what has been working for them in this season. Practically doesn't change much. They're already playing with him. This is just kind of finalizing that.
Yeah, I think it reminds me of a while back where OMG came out with a super roster of just everybody's a carry, and that just doesn't work. You can't have a carry in every single role, and that's what we see from Team Liquid, where you have the carry jungler in Dardoch, where typically you'd expect a 3-man carry with top jungle or top mid and AD carry, whereas Piglet really tries to be that guy that has the entire team on his back, and it just doesn't work right now when you have the carry in the jungle that's really trying to make so many plays. Just have the AD carry take a supportive role, and everybody's happier.
Yeah, even Lorlo stepped up a lot, getting the Trundle, the Fiora, the Rumble, like these kinds of things that need a lot more resources devoted to them. It's really hard to do when you have such a massive carry on one side and on the other side of the map. It's very hard for a jungler who also wants to carry to support both those
There's
lanes.
not enough gold.
Exactly, exactly. Well, all this roster news is relevant to our games on NA LCS 1, but we can't overlook Team Envy versus Apex over in the Battle Theater, which looks to be a very even matchup between these teams that are playing for bottom playoff seeding. As we just noted, that 6-7 slot, that kind of race to get into 6th and not land in that 7th, we just wait till next year position. These two teams, this is an important matchup for that final spot.
Right, I believe they're only one game apart at this point, so just being able to get this win in terms of the standings, but also the matchup victory, where even there's a couple more weeks to go. If they ever end up tied, this win is super important for them in that regards, on top of the fact that they've both been struggling a little bit recently, and being able to end the week on a high note would be excellent for
That's
them.
what I was going to say. When we considered the series yesterday, especially the one for Apex, that was, I can't imagine the mental hit that you take there in what was a win in game 1, a crazy extended game 2 that you should have won 2-0 against Cloud9, and then to be run back in game 3. Just very tough scenario for them.
I think both teams are actually meeting in a very low mental state,
Yes.
because Envy obviously started out so hot. They're looking incredible, and then as the weeks came on, they just worsened and worsened, and now they got to the point where they got 2-0'd by Energy rather convincingly, and now they're facing off against a team that also had, as you mentioned, that really tough game. So hopefully both these teams can just shake it off and realize that you don't want to be going any lower than this. This is the time to turn it around.
Right, Apex may not have been able to snag a win yesterday against Cloud9, but they put up a good fight, which resulted in some massive plays that you guys shouted out online using the hashtag LCS Big Plays. We've got way too many to read aloud, but you can see them all here behind us, highlighting all the incredible action from those 3 games in that series. Let's check out some of the best moments.
Jensen gets the double kill as the snare misses. There's the equalizer on cooldown. Sneaking kites it back as Ray goes down.
I'm going. I speed for you, Jensen.
Get him, Jensen! Get the penta! Nice, Jensen!
Nice, good job.
Let's go, dude.
Cloud9 are rolling this out as best they can.
They're gonna do it.
United got it. They got the way. On to the Nexus. It's going to go down. Oh my God!
Rose is here.
Get in. He's
Looking
trying to
for the steal.
Sneaky gets the kill.
He got it.
Stolen by Cloud9, and they're cleaning up the kills as well. They're able to get a triple kill. Impact catches Kane.
Nice.
Hey, got a quarter.
That went better than it could have. God bless.
That was almost tragic as fuck.
The underdog story.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I think Videos had it right. That went better than it could have. That might be the tagline for the series for Cloud9. If you're looking at it through the Cloud9 perspective, the whole series, that went better than it could have.
Yeah, or you could say went worse than it should have.
Yeah,
I don't think they should be getting aced at 7 minutes, but
oh God, my goodness,
that
just was
series
such a wild game. The whole series was so wild.
The longer games, more time to practice. So.
yeah,
That's what it is. They're like, we need.
CN's going back to the start of the season for the best of 3s, because they started winning 2-0 in the middle, and then they
Well, they
started
were like,
losing.
well, here's the deal. We finally chose our starter. We got to make sure Smoothie actually has that much time on the stage. They're going to extend all their games from here on out to make sure he's really stage ready. All right, well, that's enough of us. Time to send it out to the casters to get our games underway.
Thanks, Dash, and welcome to the Battle Arena, everyone. I'm Julian.